Good day, vaqueros. It is Monday, November 16th, and this is your weekly UTRGV radio newscast. I'm Nathaniel Puente, live from Edinburg. Let's jump right in with your latest news from around the world and your campus. UTRGV students marched through the Bronx Trail on Edinburg campus to voice their displeasure with President Donald Trump's rescindment of the DACA program. Zugay Trevino was there.
Do it for our people! Do it for our people! Do it for our people!
On a chilly Thursday afternoon, more than 200 protesters marched across the UTRGV Edinburg campus during the Solidarity Walkout to their concerns on the changes to the DACA program and urged university administration to create a new Dreamer Center. On September 5th, President Donald Trump rescinded the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals DACA program, an executive order by then-President Barack Obama that protected nearly 800,000 people. DACA provides young people who were brought to the United States as children with temporary protection from deportation if they can demonstrate that they meet several criteria, according to whitehouse.gov. The protest began at 11:40 a.m. when students walked out of their classes and made their way to the Quad's Tree of Solidarity. At noon, the march began with two large groups of about 100 people walking through the north and south sides of the Bronx Trail. Both groups met in the front of the Student Services building. In universities across the nation, walkouts to demand a Clean Dream Act took place. Protesters marched in Washington, D.C., Florida, and Oregon. During the march and rally, protesters held up signs with messages such as "Education, not deportation," "Here to stay," and "Justice for Dreamers." While gathered in front of the Student Services buildings, Alejandro Sanchez, a UTRGV Mexican-American Studies graduate and Lucha member, asked Student Government Association President Alondra Galvan to help pass a resolution to build a Dreamer Center at UTRGV. After the rally, protesters made their way to the intersection of Sugar Road and University Drive, where they stood in front of the university's letters. Drivers cheers, honked their horns, and gave thumbs up in support of the marchers. Throughout the march and rally, protesters voiced their displeasure with the different chants, including "Bailey, escucha, estamos en la lucha," and "Say it loud, say it clear, immigrants are welcome here." The protest ended with the reciting of In Lachnech, a Mayan precept that translates to "You are another me."
You are my other me. Si te hago daño a ti, if I do harm to you, me hago daño a mí mismo. I do harm to myself. Si te amo y respeto, if I love and respect you, me amo y respeto yo. I love and respect myself.
For UTRGV Radio News, this is Zugay Trevino.
UTRGV will host forums on the Edinburg and Brownsville campus this week to obtain feedback from the student body on a proposal to split the student services fee into 3 separate charges. Jesus Sanchez tells us more.
During forums scheduled for November 14th and 16th, a university committee will present a tentative recommendation to split the student services fee into 3 separate charges: athletics, transportation, and student activities, and increase designated tuition. The proposal recommends an athletics fee of $13.65 per credit hour, capped at 12 credit hours, a transportation fee at $5 per credit hour, capped at 12 credit hours, and a student services fee of $7 per credit hour, capped at 12 credit hours. Rick Anderson, the UTRGV Finance and Administration Executive Vice President, told UTRGV Radio the proposal for the athletics fee is based on its current allocation from the student services fee. For the transportation fee, Anderson said the current allocation is 97 cents per credit hour. The current allocation for student activities is $6.21 per credit hour. That amount helps fund various activities that are separate from academic functions that directly benefit students. The fee helps support various programs and departments across the university that serve students. Currently, UTRGV students pay a student services fee of $249.96 per long semester, which is $20.83 per credit hour, capped at 12 credit hours. In a meeting last Tuesday, the Tuition and Fee Steering Committee reviewed its proposal as it prepared for this week's forums. Anderson said the transportation and athletics fee would require a student referendum and legislative statute if approved by the University of Texas Board of Regents. A referendum is a vote conducted to determine student support for a measure or new mandatory fee. It is a process that enables any group to place an issue directly onto a public ballot for approval or rejection. Any new student mandatory fee must be approved by a majority of voting students, and 20% of the registered student population must vote. Without student approval, the fee cannot be assessed. If the new fees are approved by students, the proposal would be presented before the Texas legislature, which is scheduled to meet in January 2019. None of the proposed fees would affect students currently enrolled at UTRGV, only those entering in fall 2019. For UTRGV Radio News, I'm Jesus Sanchez.
UTRGV campus community members came together to honor veterans in ceremony on the Edinburg and Brownsville campuses. Britney Valdez has the story.
Last Wednesday, more than 50 veterans, family members, UTRGV staff, faculty, and students gathered in the Plains Capital Bank El Gran Salon on the Brownsville campus to honor veterans. Rand Binford, the keynote speaker and the education coordinator for the Texas Veterans Commission, served the U.S. Army for 35 years. He retired after realizing 36 would be taking it too far. Between laughs and jokes about his years in the Army, Binford said he is not a lifer and that 35 years was just about the right amount of time. After the UTRGV chorale and chamber singers performed God Bless America, the audience welcomed Martin Rodriguez, the director of the Military and Veteran Success Center UTRGV, and U.S. Army veteran, to the lectern to present a small token of appreciation to Patricia H. Rodriguez, the program coordinator in the same department. Patricia Rodriguez helped him obtain a work-study position when he was a college student at the University of Texas at Brownsville. Martin Rodriguez presented a video of Patricia's son, Joshua Rodriguez, a U.S. Marine who has been serving for a year and is stationed in Onikawa, Japan.
Today is truly your day. The work that you do is just as important as the work that I do, alongside my fellow brothers and sisters in arms. And I'm extremely proud of you. Willie, Dad, I love you very much, and I will see you soon. I love you, Mom. Bye.
As members of the audience and Patricia Rodriguez teared up, Martin Rodriguez called her to the lectern to receive a Service Appreciation Award.
I really got very emotional. My son is stationed in Okinawa, Japan, and I was very, very surprised.
After the ceremony, the audience enjoyed cupcakes, cookies, pies, and a small toy soldier with a card where the soldier's prayer was printed. In Edinburg, the ceremony was held on Thursday. For more information about the veterans at UTRGV, visit utrgv.edu/veterans. For UTRGV Radio News, this is Britney Valdez.
UTRGV hosted a Fall Teachers Job Expo November 9th on the Brownsville campus. UTRGV Radio's Annet del Toro brings us the details.
Schools districts from across Texas attended the expo in the Plains Capital Bank El Gran Salon. Students networked and asked questions about the job opportunities in the school districts of their interest. Talent recruiter Cynthia Aguilar of Idea Public Schools tells us what they are looking for in prospective employees and what their requirements are to apply.
We search for high-quality instructional candidates for positions for teaching from pre-K all the way to 12th grade, and that is from Brownsville all the way to the Alamo area. Currently, Idea Public Schools is a public charter school, so meaning that you do have more flexibility when it comes to what area or content you want to teach in. Our qualifications in order to be a teacher would require a 4-year university degree, which a bachelor's degree. You do not need to be fully certified to be a teacher at IDEA. However, we do encourage for our candidates to be certified.
Rita Salazar, an English arts major, was among the attendees.
I think it was a great opportunity because sometimes as students we are not able to know a lot about education and where to go. And I really like that it was not only here in the Valley or here in Brownsville, it was different districts from different towns, such as Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, even Austin. And I really like that they're really interested in hiring you as a teacher, and they really appreciate you if you are bilingual or if you have any other areas just in one.
On Friday, UTRGV's Career Center also hosted the Teachers Jobs Expo on the Edinburg campus. This is Annet del Toro with UTRGV Radio.
Now let's get you caught up with the latest in UTRGV sports. Men's basketball kicked off the season at home against Nichols State last Friday. Against those Colonels, UTRGV made the game very interesting before ultimately dropping the game 111-106. Xavier McDaniel Jr. led the team with 27 points on the night. Women's basketball also started the regular season in Corpus Christi for the Islanders Classic, where they defeated Concordia 67-49 and Trinity 62-57 as they begin the year with a modest 2-0 record. Volleyball closed out the regular season with a 3-0 sweep over Grand Canyon. Ragni Steen-Knudsen led the team with 16 kills as the team locks themselves in as the second seed for the WAC tournament, which begins this Thursday, November 16th, here in Edinburg. UTRGV looks to defend their WAC title from a year ago. This has been Nathaniel Puente with your UTRGV Sports. And that's just going to do it for this week's UTRGV Radio Newscast. Keep it locked here on UTRGV Radio. We have a lot of great music and shows lined up just for you.